Ali had been practicing fasting for several weeks, not for religious reasons alone but for its scientifically proven health benefits. He had read about improved insulin sensitivity, cellular repair through autophagy, reduced inflammation, and enhanced mental clarity, and he could feel the difference himself. His mind felt sharper in the mornings, his energy more stable, and his discipline stronger than ever before. Fasting for Ali was no longer just skipping meals, it had become a structured biological reset. But one quiet morning, a simple moment disrupted his confidence. As sunlight filtered through the window, Ali stood in his kitchen holding a small pill between his fingers. It was light, almost weightless, hardly noticeable. Yet in his mind, it carried enormous consequences. He paused, staring at it, and a question echoed repeatedly, "Will this tiny pill break my fast?" From a biological perspective, fasting places the body in a unique metabolic state. After several hours without food, glucose levels drop, insulin secretion decreases, and the body begins shifting from using sugar to burning stored fat. This transition is critical. It activates fat oxidation and triggers cellular pathways linked to longevity and metabolic health. Ali knew this. He had studied it carefully. That knowledge made him even more cautious. His concern wasn't irrational. Many fasting benefits depend on maintaining low insulin levels. Even small amounts of sugar or calories can interrupt this state, pushing the body back into glucose metabolism. The idea that something as small as a pill could spike insulin, even slightly, made him uneasy. Science had taught him that in biology, small inputs can create significant effects. He also understood the placebo and nocebo effects, the way beliefs themselves can influence physiology. Stress, anxiety, and doubt can increase cortisol, a hormone that directly affects blood sugar levels. If he took the pill while believing his fast was broken, would that mental stress alone reduce the benefits? The uncertainty itself felt like a threat. Ali recalled reading research papers discussing how the body responds not only to nutrients but also to perception. The brain plays a central role in regulating hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin. A single thought, "I've ruined it," could potentially alter his hormonal balance. This realization made his doubt even heavier. He examined the pill again. It had no smell, no taste, no visible calories. Logically, it seemed harmless. But science had also taught him to question assumptions. Was the pill coated with sugar? Did it contain fillers, binders, or sweeteners? Pharmaceutical tablets often include inactive ingredients, some of which can technically provide trace calories. Even though the amount might be microscopic, Ali wondered whether microscopic still mattered in a fasted state. The deeper issue wasn't just the pill, it was control. Fasting had given Ali a sense of mastery over his habits and impulses. The idea that a necessary action, something meant to support health, could undermine that control felt frustrating. He didn't want fasting to turn into fear-based perfectionism, yet he also didn't want to be careless. Standing there, Ali realized his doubt represented a larger scientific question. Is fasting an all-or-nothing switch or a flexible metabolic spectrum? The answer mattered, not just for him, but for anyone trying to balance modern medicine with ancient fasting practices. In that moment of hesitation, Ali understood that knowledge, not fear, would have to guide his next step. Ali approached the question with curiosity rather than fear. Instead of relying on online myths or rigid fasting rules, he decided to understand the science behind what truly defines a fast. Very quickly, he realized that the answer was not emotional or philosophical, it was biochemical. The body does not respond to labels like pill or medicine. It responds to energy, nutrients, and hormonal signals. At the core of fasting lies a simple metabolic principle. When the body receives no usable energy, insulin levels remain low. Low insulin allows stored fat to be released and burned, shifts the body toward ketone production, and activates cellular repair mechanisms such as autophagy. From this perspective, Ali learned that the real question was not whether something was swallowed, but whether it contained digestible calories capable of altering insulin response. Most standard medicines, including many tablets and capsules, are essentially non-caloric. Their purpose is to deliver an active compound, often measured in micrograms or milligrams, that interacts with specific receptors or enzymes in the body. These compounds do not serve as fuel. They do not provide carbohydrates, fats, or proteins in quantities that matter metabolically. As a result, they do not significantly raise blood glucose or stimulate insulin release. From a fasting standpoint, the body remains in a fasted state. Ali also examined the so-called inactive ingredients in pills. Fillers such as cellulose, lactose, and trace amounts or binding agents are commonly used to hold tablets together. Science shows that the quantities involved are extremely small, far below the threshold required to disrupt metabolic fasting. The digestive system simply does not treat these substances as meaningful energy sources. In metabolic terms, they are almost invisible. The picture changed when Ali studied liquid and flavored medications. Syrups, chewables, dissolvable tablets, and gummy vitamins are designed for taste and quick absorption. To achieve this, manufacturers often add sugars such as glucose, fructose, or sucrose. These sugars are rapidly absorbed through the intestinal lining, leading to a rise in blood glucose. This rise signals the pancreas to release insulin, which shifts the body out of its fat-burning mode. Insulin is not just a blood sugar regulator, it is a powerful metabolic switch. Once insulin increases, fat breakdown slows, ketone production decreases, and cellular repair processes are reduced. Even a small insulin spike can partially interrupt the physiological benefits of fasting, especially for those fasting for metabolic health, insulin resistance, or longevity. Ali also learned that context matters. A small amount of sugar may not completely erase all fasting benefits, but it does change the metabolic state. For someone fasting casually, the impact may be minimal. But for individuals targeting specific outcomes, such as improved insulin sensitivity or metabolic flexibility, even small sugar inputs become relevant. One of the most important truths Ali discovered was that fasting exists on a continuum. It is not an on-off switch. A sugary supplement may reduce some benefits without eliminating all of them. Likewise, a non-caloric pill does not magically break a fast simply by being consumed. Science ultimately gave Ali clarity. Pills do not break a fast because they are pills. They break a fast only if they deliver energy that changes hormonal signaling. Understanding this distinction freed him from confusion and allowed fasting to become a rational, evidence-based practice rather than a source of stress. The truth was clear: biology responds to nutrients, not intentions or labels. With knowledge replacing confusion, Ali finally reached the most important stage of his fasting journey: balance. Science had answered his questions, but wisdom taught him how to apply those answers in real life. He realized that fasting was never meant to be a rigid test of perfection. It was a tool designed to support human health, not compromise it. From a biological perspective, the human body thrives on adaptation, not extremes. Evolution shaped our metabolism to handle periods of scarcity and abundance, stress and recovery. Fasting works precisely because it mimics these natural cycles. But when fasting turns into anxiety, the body interprets that stress as a threat. Elevated stress hormones like cortisol can raise blood glucose levels, suppress immune function, and counteract many of the benefits fasting is meant to provide. Ali understood now that fear itself could do more harm than a harmless pill ever could. He began to view fasting through a broader scientific lens. Fasting is not a single switch that flips on or off, it exists on a metabolic spectrum. The body does not instantly exit fat-burning mode because of a non-caloric tablet. Likewise, it does not collapse into failure because of a necessary medical intervention. Biological systems are resilient, layered, and forgiving. Ali chose his medicines wisely. He checked labels, avoided sugary syrups when alternatives were available, and scheduled flavored supplements outside fasting windows when possible. But when medication was essential, especially prescriptions that supported vital functions, he took them without hesitation. Medical science is built on evidence, not guilt. Skipping medication introduces physiological instability, inflammation, and long-term risk, far more damaging than minimal fasting disruption. He also recognized the importance of intentional fasting. Science shows that intention shapes behavior, consistency, and long-term outcomes. A person who fasts with clarity and flexibility is far more likely to maintain metabolic health than someone who fasts with fear and rigidity. Sustainable health practices work because they are repeatable, not because they are perfect. Ali reflected on one of the most overlooked truths in health science. The body values net benefit over isolated moments. Fasting benefits accumulate over weeks and months, not minutes. A single pill, a small deviation, or an imperfect day does not erase long-term progress. Metabolic improvements such as improved insulin sensitivity, mitochondrial efficiency, and inflammation reduction occur through consistency, not obsession. Another key realization came from neuroscience. Discipline rooted in understanding activates the prefrontal cortex, the brain's center for planning and rational decision-making. Discipline driven by fear, however, is regulated by the amygdala, which triggers stress responses. Ali wanted the first, not the second. Knowledge had transformed his discipline from fragile to resilient. By embracing balance, Ali's fasting practice became stronger, not weaker. He no longer measured success by rigid rules, but by outcomes: stable energy, mental clarity, improved health markers, and peace of mind. This balance allowed fasting to coexist with real-life work, health needs, and responsibility. In the end, Ali understood a simple scientific truth: true fasting supports life, not harm. When guided by evidence and intention, fasting becomes a powerful ally. And when knowledge leads discipline, consistency follows naturally. His fast remained strong, not because it was unbreakable, but because it was intelligent.